Hello class, here's our objectives for today's lesson. First, we have to define the following: constant, variable, coefficient, term, algebraic expression, and identify the constant, variable, coefficient, and number of terms. Next, we have to differentiate a polynomial from an algebraic expression, define a polynomial, and classify degree of a polynomial and a number of terms. There are so many things to study today. Okay, so let's first study about the algebraic expressions. So ano po ibig sabihin ng algebraic expressions? So it is any combination of one or more constants and variable along with at least one mathematical operation. I know hindi pa masyado maintindihan natin yung definition, but along the way in our discussion, mas maintindihan natin kung ano talaga yung algebraic expressions. And it also consists of one or more terms separated by plus or minus signs. So this time we should study and understand what constants and variables mean, and also terms, para mas maintindihan kung ano talagang ibig sabihin ng algebraic expressions. So let's start with constant. So ano pong ibig sabihin ng constant? It is any number or symbol representing one fixed value. So kapag number or fixed or merong fixed value, ito po ay constant. For example, x plus 4. So the constant here is 4. Why? Because ito po yung number. So kapag number, constant yan. So next example, we have 2x minus 3. The constant here is negative 3. So always remember, constant is only number. So dapat walang letters. So hindi letters yung constant. So next, variable. So ano pong ibig sabihin ng variable? It is any letter or symbol that changes its value. So constant, it is a number or any numbers. Pero kapag letters, ito po ay variable. So when you say variable, it changes its value. So ang value niya is hindi fixed. So for example, m plus 4. So ano ang variable here? So the variable here is m. See? Kasi letter siya. So kapag number, that is constant. Kapag letter, that is variable. So any letters are called variable. Any numbers, okay, single numbers are called constant. Okay? So ito po yung kaibahan ng constant and variable. Next example is 4xy minus 7. So ano po yung variable dito? So the variables are dalawa, x and y. So hindi kasali si 4 kasi si 4 is number. Yung variables are only letters. So x and y lang yung sagot. Another important terms that we need to study is coefficient. So anong ibig sabihin ng coefficient? So we have numerical coefficient and literal coefficient. Okay, so anong ibig sabihin ng numerical and literal coefficient? Kapag numerical, that is number. Okay, yung partner niya na number. Kapag literal coefficient, yung letter part including the exponents. So yung partner niya na letters including the exponent, yung ang literal coefficient. So kapag partner, okay, kapag ang isang term merong number at merong ding letters. So merong constant at merong ding variable. So partners sila. So yung numerical, that is number, literal, that is letter. For example, 2x. So sa 2x, meron silang partner, okay? So dalawa sila. So the numerical coefficient is 2. The literal coefficient is x. Okay? So 5 mn. Numerical, that is number, that's 5. literal coefficient, yung partner niya na letters or let's say variable. Okay? So when you say variable, letters yan. So anong variable or letters na partner ni 5? That is mn. So the literal coefficient of 5 is mn. The literal coefficient of 2 is x. So next is 10 st square. So the numerical coefficient is 10. The literal coefficient is st square. Okay? So that's coefficient. Next, we have here the leading coefficient. Anong ibig sabihin ng leading coefficient? So kapag leading, so yung term na may mas malaki or pinakamalaking exponent or degree, yun ang leading term. So for example here, 10 st squared plus 4 st minus 7. The leading coefficient here is 10. Bakit? Kasi si 10 ay may pinakamalaking exponent. Okay? Since there are 3 terms here, 10 st squared, and then another 4 st, that's another term, and then 7. Okay? So, tatlong terms here. Kasi, sa operation na plus and minus, so, it separates different terms. Okay? So, dahil sa plus at minus, nagiging different terms sila. Separated sila. Okay? So, sa tatlong terms, anong pinakamalaking degree? So, 10 st squared. So, 10 is the leading coefficient. Okay, next is negative 5mn plus 8. So, you have to check the exponent or pinakamalaking degree or exponent. So, the answer, the leading coefficient is negative 5. Kasi, kapag constant 8, the exponent is 0. Kapag merong variable like mn, the degree or the exponent is 1. So that's why negative 5 has the highest degree. How about this one? So obviously, the leading coefficient here is 9. Bakit 9? Kasi the highest degree is 3. Right? So, the highest exponent is 3. So, kapag siya yung pinakamalaking exponent, yun ang leading coefficient. So, the leading coefficient is the number. Okay, so, let's continue about terms. Okay, so term, what is term? It is constant, variable, or product of two separated by plus or minus. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Okay, so it could be constant lang or variable or it could be partner sila. Okay, yung term. Okay, and then it's separated by plus or minus. So, malalaman natin kung how many terms are there based on the operation kapag merong plus or minus. Okay, so let's try to study or make a table here. So, for example, we have number of terms and then leading term. Okay, so let's try to answer this expression. So this is one algebraic expression, group of terms. Okay, so how many terms are here? So since merong plus and minus, so it means they are separated. So let's count 1, 2, and 3. So there are 3 terms. Okay, so malalaman natin kung 1 term, 2 terms, 3 terms kapag merong operation either plus or minus. So how many terms are here? 3. So 10 st squared, that's 1 term. 4 st, that's another term. Then 7, it's the third term. So what is the leading term? Leading term is 10 st squared. Why? Because it has the highest degree, highest exponent. That's the leading term. The leading coefficient is 10. Okay? How about here? 5mn plus 8. How many terms? There are 2 because only one operation. The leading term is 5mn kasi it has 1 degree, highest degree. 8, it has 0, okay, degree. Next is this one. There are 3 operations plus, minus, and minus. So let's count how many terms. 1, 2, 3, 4. So number of terms is 4. Okay, the leading term, yung pinakamalaking degree or exponent. So 9x cubed. Okay? So the leading coefficient is 9. The leading term is 9x cubed. You have to be careful, okay, with the question. If you're asked to answer the leading term, you have to write all terms, 9x cubed. Kapag leading coefficient lang, only 9. Okay, hindi kasali si x cubed. Okay, so here are more examples of algebraic expressions. So 9st squared minus 4st plus 7. So let's try to identify the constant. That's 7. Variable. So s comma then t. So dalawa kasi yung variable s and t. Okay? Numerical coefficients. So kapag numerical coefficients, that is number. Okay? So numerical coefficient of st square is 9. Okay? So yung numerical coefficient of st square, the answer is 9. Okay? The numerical coefficient of st is negative 4. So dalawa. So the numerical coefficient of st square is 9. The numerical coefficient of st is negative 4. How about literal coefficient? So for the literal coefficient of 9 is st square. The literal coefficient of negative 4 is st. Okay? Partner sila. So next, the leading term that it has the highest degree, highest exponent. So anong term yon? 9st square. So that's the answer. Leading term is 9st square. Okay? So for the leading coefficient, so since 9st square is the leading term, so the leading coefficient is only 9. Hindi kasali si st square. Okay? Next, number of terms. So just very simple. Just count how many terms are there. There are 3. So because of minus and plus, so they are separated. Okay, this time let's proceed to our next lesson. So that's how fast we are now. So our next lesson is all about polynomials. So you can see the examples of not a polynomial and a polynomial. So anong kaibahan ng polynomial at hindi? Okay? So anong ibig sabihin ng polynomial? So it is a kind or special kind of expression where each term is a constant, variable, or a product of constant and variable. So it could be constant, it could be variable, it could be both, partner, constant and variable. Okay? However, algebraic expression is not a polynomial. Okay? Yung lesson na earlier na we studied about the different algebraic expression, hindi po yun polynomial. Okay? Not all expressions are polynomial. So that's why now we have to study, okay, which expressions are polynomial and which expressions are not a polynomial. Okay? When can we know if the expression is not a polynomial? So here is the first reason. Okay? When the variable is in the denominator. Kapag si variable ay nasa denominator, hindi polynomial yan. So as you can see, the examples of not a polynomial. So kapag may variable sa denominator, hindi polynomial. Okay? Sa examples ng polynomials, you can see the denominators are all constant. Walang variables, right? The variables are written in the numerator. So, okay lang yung variables na nasa numerator, okay? Hindi lang dapat sa denominator. Okay, so next reason na hindi polynomial yung expression is when the exponent is not a whole number. So, yung exponent ay dapat whole number para magiging polynomial. Kapag the exponents are not whole number, katulad ng examples na nasa not a polynomial. So first, the exponent is negative 2. Second is fraction, 1/4. So hindi polynomial. Okay? So yon ang second reason. Sa polynomial example, a square, so that's whole number. The exponent is 2. That's positive. So okay. Polynomial. Okay? So third reason na hindi polynomial yung expression is when the variable is under the radical sign, nasa loob ng radical sign. So you can see the example sa not polynomial. So si x, that's a variable, is inside the radical sign. Sa polynomial, ang nasa loob lang radical sign is only 5. So kapag si 5, that's constant, is nasa loob ng radical sign, okay, walang problema. Dapat si variable ay nasa labas. Hindi dapat nasa loob ng radical sign. Okay? So, we have to remember, not a polynomial. The expressions are not a polynomial when the variable is in a denominator, when the exponent is not a whole number, and when the variable is under the radical sign. Let's proceed to the classification of polynomials. So there are special names for polynomials according to the number of terms. First, we have monomial. So when you say monomial, it has only one term. So it could be constant only, or variable, or both. Okay, just like for example here, these are the examples of monomial. One term lang yon. Okay? Next is binomial. Kapag binomial, dalawang terms. So for example, 5s squared plus 3s. So dalawang terms. Okay? Dahil merong plus or minus na operation. So two terms yan. So binomial yung tawag na term. Next, trinomial, it has 3 terms. So you can see, separated by plus and minus. So tatlong terms. Yan. So, just simply count how many terms. Kapag isa, monomial. Dalawang terms, binomial. Kapag tatlong terms, trinomial yung tawag. Okay? So, kapag more than 3, okay? Or it has 4 or more terms, tinatawag itong multinomial or polynomials. Okay? So, as you can see, there are 3 operation, plus and minus. So when you count, there are 4 terms. So multinomial yung tawag kapag 4 or more terms. Or pwede ring polynomial. Multinomial or polynomials. Okay? Ito po yung classification of polynomials according to the number of terms. So you have to take note of this. Let's proceed to the degree of a polynomial. So if we have the classification of polynomials according to the number of terms, we also have classification of polynomials according to its degree. Okay? So the degree of a polynomial with one variable is the value of the largest exponent of the variable that appears in any term. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Yung may pinakamalaking exponent, okay? The largest exponent, okay? Yun yung degree na susundin. Okay? Just for example, this one. So you check first anong exponent na may pinakamalaki or the largest exponent here. Since cube is the largest exponent or 3 is the highest exponent, so the degree is 3 or third degree. Kasi ito yung pinaka malaking exponent. Next example here. So you can check the exponent or highest exponent or largest exponent is 5. So therefore the degree is 5 or fifth degree. What if there are 2 or more variables in one term? So how could we find the highest exponent or degree? So the degree of a polynomial with 2 or more variables is the highest degree for a term with non-zero coefficient. So we have to get the sum of the powers for a term. Okay? So kapag sa isang term merong 2 variables and merong different exponent, every variable. So just simply add. Okay, halimbawa, 12x cubed y cubed plus 5x cubed y squared minus 4x squared y minus 10. So obviously, so in one term, there are two variables with exponents. So just simply add the exponent of the variable. So for 12x cubed y cubed, if you add, it's 6. For 5x cubed and y squared, it's 5. So obviously, the highest exponent is 6. Okay, 6, 5. Here is 3. 4x squared y, it's 3. Kasi y is 1. Y, 1 exponent. So 3. So obviously, the degree is 6 or 6 degree. Yung highest exponent. We just simply add 3 plus 3. Okay? So that's simple. Simply add the exponent for a term. Okay, how about here? So simply add, obviously 4 plus 3 is 7. So next here is 3, 2 plus 1, 3. And here also 3. So obviously our degree is 7 or 7th degree. Or that's the highest exponent. So how many degree or what is the degree is the answer is 7. Next, polynomial in descending order. So when we are asked to get the standard form, so when you are writing the expression or the polynomial in standard form, it should be descending order. What does it mean? Okay, the polynomial is in descending order if the exponent of the variable is arranged from largest to smallest. So the standard form should be in descending order. So we should write the term with the largest exponent, okay, followed by the next larger. Okay, so it should be descending order. So this one, we have to arrange in standard or write in standard form. So first, you have to write negative 2x cubed kasi ito yung pinaka mas malaki or the largest exponent, followed by 3x squared, then minus 2x plus 5. So constant will always be the last to write. Okay, here, so obviously, hindi sila arranged, so we have to write it in a standard form. So it should be in descending order. First, you have to write negative 9a to the 5th. Okay, kasi ito ang largest exponent, followed by 10a to the 4th, then minus 3a squared minus 3. Okay? So now it is written in standard form. So or in descending order. So kapag standard form, mauna yung pinakamalaking exponent followed by the next larger until sa last yung constant. Next, kapag merong dalawang variables in a term, so simply we have to add all the exponent in each term. So first, ito 5, then 6, then ito is 3. So ano yung pinakamalaki? 12x cubed y cubed. Kasi when you add, it's 6. So that's the highest degree. Followed by 5x cubed y squared. When you add, the exponent is 5. Okay? Try to test yourself if you completely understand this lesson. So I want you to write each polynomial in descending order or in standard form. Find a degree and decide whether it's a monomial, binomial, trinomial, or multinomial. I want you to answer this table, complete the table. Okay? Then you have to pause. Stop muna. Okay? And then later on, you check the answers. Here are the answers. Okay? I want you to answer this table first before you check the answer key para ma-evaluate mo yung self mo if you have clearly understood the lesson. Okay, class? Thank you.